Hello, fellow fellowers. Welcome to FanZcene. And tonight I have with me Jayne Theory and Scipt Doctor, and we will be discussing Christmas movies or not. A list of movies that we
Woo!
think, yeah, may or may
Yeah.
not be Christmas movies. Okay, I'm going to start with these two first. I just want you guys quick, honest opinions on these because I don't know if these have ever really been debated, but I've always thought of them as eh. We'll go with Hook and Princess Bride.
Hook.
We'll start with you, Jayne.
Okay, so okay.
We'll
This
see.
was
Go ahead.
I have to think about it some more. I'll pass.
Okay. Well, the Hook starts with at Christmas time. That's why they're all gathering at Wendy's house. As it takes place at Christmas. So does Peter Pan, for that matter. It takes place at Christmas time before they move to Neverland. So that's why I bring up Hook. And everybody knows with Princess Bride, it's the grandfather reading to his sick grandson on Christmas. So, what do you guys think? Scipt?
Well, for Hook, the whole reason that brings Peter to England is Christmas, and to help be there to award the humanitarian award, I think, to Wendy.
Yes.
So that's kind of that's a crux to the film, even though Christmas itself is not really a topic at hand or even a running theme beyond that inciting incident. The Princess Bride, the Christmas day just happens to be the day. It's not really dependent on anything going on in the story. But still, The Princess Bride is a fantastic film.
Yes, a great film.
There's no reason not to watch it during Christmas. Let's put it that way.
Exactly. See, I bring these up because I do tend to watch these two movies around the holiday season. So, but I always felt Hook was a little more Christmassy than Princess Bride, even though you sort of get that Christmas-ness in the Princess Bride, even though, like you said, it's Christmas isn't part of the story,
Mm-hmm.
Jayne?
I was just trying to think about how involved Christmas is in the visual representation of the film. Like Princess Bride, I don't remember anything specific that was Christmassy. With Hook, I'm trying to remember. Did they have trees? I mean, what?
Yeah, they had a Christmas tree.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
it's all in Wendy's house mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see if I get a picture up for you guys. If you guys want to talk while I look this up.
Because, well, to me, that's a key factor. Like, you have to have something representative of the holiday in the film. If you do, then it counts. But it can't just simply take place during the season or include just a minimal reference to it.
True.
Yeah,
true.
that's a solid argument there. I can get on board with that.
Yeah.
So I think that would actually
exactly.
So applying that same logic, I think then that Princess Bride wouldn't be as dependent as being a Christmas movie by comparison to Hook.
True. I'll agree with you guys on that one. So that's why I brought these two up first before we get into the other ones, is because there are some movies out there that are set around Christmas time that aren't Christmas movies, right? Like Princess Bride. But I always sort of felt like Hook and Peter Pan was sort of a little more Christmassy type movies than the Princess Bride, because there is that central theme of like family and coming together at Christmas, and then it leads into finding a different type of family in Neverland. So that's why I always sort of felt it was a little bit Christmassy to me.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find a picture here, but all they give me is just pictures of him in Neverland. Trying to find Wendy's house.
It's been so long since I've watched it, but
yeah, it's been a while.
Well, I mean, there's a bunch of things I remember vividly from Hook. It has been a while for myself. Like Peter, his last name is Banning, so like a Banning, I think. And yeah, he misses his son's baseball game. So they're in like California, I guess. And then they're flying. Then they land in England, and it's snowing, and it's Christmas, and the kids are all really, really excited at Wendy's house. And yeah, and then after they're told their bedtime story, the kids get kidnapped.
It's true.
And then Peter meets Tink
Mhm.
and is flown away. And then that's the last you see of anything Christmassy for the rest of the film until they come back.
Yeah.
And then Toodles gets his marbles and flies away and drops some magic fairy dust on George Lucas and Carrie Fisher, who are kissing on the bridge by Parliament.
Yeah, yeah.
I found a picture. You
Did
want to
you-
share my
yeah,
screen?
Yeah, go ahead. I've been looking and I can't find one.
It's not a very good one, but you can see the Christmas decorations in the background.
Oh yeah,
so
right there.
it
See?
counts. I
Yeah.
will count it as a Christmas movie.
Yeah. Tom says it has a lot of Christmassy elements. Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's the drawing. It's one of two factors that draws everyone in there. I mean, if it was just a humanitarian award at any time of year, would the grandkids or the great grandkids, sorry, really be going? Would it just be maybe the parents and then the grandkids are left? I mean, you know, granted it's the '90s. Kids were taken pretty much everywhere. But then nowadays it's a little
Yeah.
back and forth. In the '70s, the kids would be left to fend for themselves.
Yeah.
So
true.
yeah.
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 And
No.
yeah. So I would say, yeah, I would say maybe Hook is a little bit of a Christmas movie. Seems to think Tom and some people here think that yes, Hook is a bit of a Christmas movie. Princess Bride, I would say, is a no, but I would say it's something you should watch, and it's something that you can watch around the holiday season. So, what do you guys think? Agree to disagree?
I'm on board with that.
Yeah, I can agree to that.
Yeah. Now, Moria here says, could one of the Lethal Weapons be considered a Christmas movie? This is one of the ones I was going to get into of the list of 5 movies that we're going to be covering tonight. And what do you guys say? Lethal Weapon, Part 1. That's the one we're going to talk about right now.
Well, that does take place during Christmas.
That does take place during
Absolutely.
Christmas. So what do you guys think? Do you think it's a Christmas movie?
I think it absolutely is because it takes place during Christmas, but also is very clearly taking place during Christmas. You have Christmas decorations, you have just the imagery. It's
Well,
unquestionably
the
a
ending
Christmas-
scene itself, right, where he invites men for Christmas dinner, I think it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why people take issue with it, honestly.
Not only that, like Riggs holds the gun in his mouth inside a store that's got Christmas painting on the glass, so it's kind of like right then and there. He's gonna deck the halls with his brain matter if Murtaugh doesn't stop him.
Yeah.
So it's more like it. I mean, the other part too is that there's also an emotional aspect to it because Riggs, his wife's been gone for a couple of years, and now it's around the holidays, and that's the time to be with family. So, and Riggs doesn't really have a family anymore, and he's kind of getting this new one with Murtaugh slowly. And yeah, so I can see an emotional thing, but that's a bit more. That's if you watch the movie a lot that you can actually pick up on that. If you just see it your first time, you're probably not going to register it that much, like as Christmas being a dominant factor in it.
Hmm.
I mean, you got like on Murtaugh's street, you see all the Christmas lights, you see the Christmas tree in the house.
Mhm.
You know, they got the giant Christmas tree. There's Christmas music in the movie, isn't there? I do believe so.
I think so,
points.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
and
the opening is a Christmas song, so it's,
yeah, and once again, like much like Hook, it is very much about family. You know, like you said, Riggs' wife has passed away, and he finds a de facto family in Murtaugh and Murtaugh's wife and kids, and comes together. You know, and he literally fights to save them.
yeah,
So
on his front lawn.
Yeah.
what has historically been the argument against it? Because I've never
Yeah, so well, some
Let's
people
do
like
that.
with like Lethal Weapon and Die Hard, which we'll get to Die Hard. Just for some reason, just assume they're not Christmas movies because of the action and the blood and the violence or something. I don't know.
Oh,
I never really get people's
What, people haven't seen the
arguments
movie
against.
Santa's Sleigh?
Yeah, with
right.
Bill Goldberg.
Christmas movies can be violent. They absolutely can.
I don't know. I got
That's a good
sick.
question. Yeah.
I got sick, Tom, and I meant to get 4 people, and I ended up getting 3. So that's why you're not on here. I could send you a link though if you want. Let me know. um, yeah. So like, I think we're all in agreement. Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie as well. There's a lot to it, and the guy that wrote it?
Well, Shane Black likes
Yeah,
to
Shane
write
Black.
during
Yeah,
Christmas because
I was gonna say.
it's a good driving, it's a good background driving aspect to your setting.
Mhm.
If you ever feel like, oh, you need a dialogue heavy scene between two characters to move the plot forward, you've got Christmas as a great excuse to justify segueing into that without it actually feeling directly out of place. And that's an old screenwriting habit. Like they always say, if you're going to write something that you think is going to have a lot of dialogue, pick a holiday or some sort of big event going on, so that you can always rely on them talking during that time, and it doesn't feel so out of place.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do believe that like Lethal Weapon was on the heels of Die Hard to begin with as well too. So kind of took that formula.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one movie though that I did forget to put on my list here, but we can talk about Gremlins.
Yeah, that's a Christmas movie.
Yes.
That's absolutely a Christmas movie.
Absolutely, 100%. And as Tom's brought it up a couple times there, and so yes, Gremlins is 100% a Christmas movie, and it is
They
a
were a Christmas
classic.
gift.
Yeah. What are your guys' thoughts on some of the stuff that goes down in that?
Well, I mean, you got Phoebe Cates talking about her dad dying while dressed as Santa. So, I mean,
I love Joe Dante.
me too. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing, like the father is getting a gift for his kid. That's the impetus of everything that happens. The mom is just, trying to have a good Christmas with the family with all the crap that's going around.
It's true. It's true. Before we get into some of the next one, I want to say hell to the chat. Welcome, Tom, Morakitty, Sander Hammerslag, sorry, Brent Utini. Am I missing one? I think who did I miss?
Happy Dinosaur 8000 just popped in.
8000. Welcome, buddy. Hell to the chat. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're just talking Christmas movies that may or may not be Christmas movies. Now, here's one. I often thought I didn't really think of it as a Christmas movie full on until I did like a poll. I actually did a Twitter poll that actually changed my mind a little bit. Trading Places, because I honestly did not think of it as being a full on Christmas movie because it takes place into Christmas and into New Year's, and then ends with them on the yacht. But then I started hearing people's arguments to it, and they literally changed my mind. And I'm thinking, yeah, I agree. It is a Christmas movie. What do you guys think?
I think it definitely is. Because again, you have the situation where the imagery of Christmas plays a prominent part in the story. So, it's one of those where I'm not sure how it wouldn't be, because you have actual scenes of Christmas trees, decorations, and Christmas outfits and all of that. So
You got
it's
Dan
it's a
Aykroyd in a Santa's costume eating a raw salmon.
right. So
That
yeah,
is so funny.
it's immersed in the Christmas spirit.
Yes,
And there's a little bit of giving and taking in that, because Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy, they figure out that they've been played with, and they decide to not only just give themselves an upper hand, but Dan Aykroyd's original valet and Jamie Lee Curtis, they help them through their scheme to sort of get justice for their being manipulated by the two older bankers.
Yeah. It's very much a Prince and a Pauper esque story.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
There's definitely more Prince and Pauper than Christmas, but Christmas is still it still plays well within the because like a lot of the stuff happens during the Christmas break,
Yes.
where the stock exchange is closed, so that they have to get all their information for their insider trading.
Right.
So,
and they do the whole like you said, it's sort of like the fall from grace and then the redeeming moment where they all come together and they get what they want. They succeed at a happy Christmas ending.
Yeah.
And greetings, Curtis YZ, and greeting Martin Acosta Santana. Welcome, guys. Yeah. Trying to get the points, and so we know.
you need some more contentious film options.
Yeah, I
man.
know. We're all like I told Jayne, we did one on here with the Howling versus American Werewolf in London, and we all agreed on American Werewolf in London. We didn't have any debate, so we kind of just blew through everything real quick. So, yeah, then I'm trying to think of some other ones.
Overboard, is that a Christmas movie?
Funny Farm. What about that movie with Chevy Chase? There's one to debate about because even though per se it's not up to, it ends at Christmas time, and that's what decides them. That what changes their mind to stay on the farm because they get the Norman Rockwell Christmas that they paid for, and then it changes their mind to stay. But then the townspeople are still the townspeople.
I haven't seen that one in a few years, so I've got to think hard on that one.
Yeah, that's his Chevy Chase and his wife are big New York people, and they buy a farm to move to the farm so he can write a novel, and it goes from like summertime into Christmas time, and by Christmas time they're ready to divorce and move out because everything's falling apart on them, and then they have this big Christmas moment. Everybody's singing the carols. It's snow everywhere. There's Christmas trees, and it changes their mind because they pay. Like I said, they pay for this Norman Rockwell-esque Christmas experience to help sell their house. And it changes their mind to get back together, and they decide to stay there. Here's one for you. Yeah, brought up by.
I think it would be then because that Christmas is not only there visually, but like you guys were saying before, it does have that coming together aspect.
Yes, it does.
Renewal.
Renewal.
I can dig it.
Yeah, I could sort of.
I mean, if it's central to the climax, then yeah, that kind of works.
Yeah. Batman Returns.
That's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, that's a Christmas movie. I would say
it literally takes place at Christmas. They light a tree twice. One involves a person dying.
A poor woman.
It's luckily, very lucky that the plunger to activate the lights did not get stuck. Actually, it hit it from falling 30 stories. It's like it still didn't go on afterwards. That'd be terrible.
Yeah. I would. I mean, it even starts when the penguin is born. I believe he's born at Christmas. So, yeah. And it's a baby floated down the water, given up into the sewers, and he comes back on Christmas and just tries to kill all the firstborn kids.
Yeah.
And Danny DeVito does a great job in that movie.
He does.
Yeah. So we went over them, and see Maura here says, for a movie to be considered a Christmas movie, the majority of the plot must take place around Christmas holiday. Do you agree with that?
Oh, no.
Well, I guess
no.
I mean,
I don't.
Okay, there we go.
It's a Wonderful Life. Does not take place at just Christmas time. It takes place over years, and it's considered an all-time Christmas classic.
Well, because nobody saw it, and then it was put on TV during the Christmas time because they needed something to put on because the affiliates, most of the TV was live at that point. They didn't have much recorded stuff that they could play. But I mean, the ending of the film is like there's that Christmas tree, there's a bell that rings, angel gets your wings. I mean, the subject of Christmas is not really prevalent. Oh no, what? No, isn't it? No, it has to be a little bit prevalent because he loses all the money around Christmas time, right?
Yeah, he does. That's when it
so that's what really gets people upset.
Yeah,
they can't buy a Christmas.
It builds to that. It shows him from the time he was a kid to how he kept trying to leave, and they kept bringing him back to help with his loan house. That's what it is, right? Loan house.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and so like it goes over his whole life up until that Christmas when he loses that money, and then they show him It's a Wonderful Life, what everybody would be like without him.
Right.
Yeah. So, but it's like
so it's an important point in the story, but it's not represented. It's not that involved in the overall plot over the course of the film.
Mm-hmm. But it's considered an all-time Christmas classic.
Right. So why judge these other films so harshly? Why hold
it's
them
a Christmas
to a
classic due to marketing?
That's what makes it. I mean, that's part of it, right?
Well, today, yeah. I mean, I also think part of the intention of the film itself should play a little bit into that. Like we can go back to, say, The Princess Bride and talk about the intention. Yeah, the setup is that it's Christmas. But William Goldman doesn't really run with that aspect for the rest of the story, because what he's using is as a framing device so that he can properly adapt to the book he wrote, which is The Princess Bride, and have Peter Falk kind of narrate it.
Mm-hmm. It's true. So I lost my train of thought.
That's okay.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I started.
Okay, so we confirmed Finding Farm counts as a Christmas movie.
Yes, Funny Farm.
Hook counts as a Christmas movie.
Yes, Hook.
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon. Gremlins. Definitely.
Gremlins. Yep, definitely. We're all agreed on Die Hard, right?
Yeah, Die Hard. That's one we were going to. We might as well get to Die Hard now.
Okay, let's get to Die Hard.
Let's get to Die Hard. So, thoughts on Die Hard? How many here thinks Die Hard is not a Christmas movie?
Answer in the chat.
Answer in the chat, yes. No, it's 100% a Christmas movie. There's Christmas music. There's a family that's fallen apart that comes back together. There's a Christmas party. There's Christmas decorations. There's, once again, renewal at the end of the film, like we've mentioned.
Now I have a machine gun. Ho ho ho! That's pretty Christmas, right?
Yep. Now a machine gun. Ho ho ho! And I would say it's Christmas all around. Yeah. What about you guys?
I agree. I think the only thing that they could to disqualify it would be the whole violence argument. But everything about this movie says Christmas. I don't know. I could never not view it as one.
You could easily retitle Die Hard to John McClane Saves Christmas, and it still works.
Sorry.
Right. Hey, Tom.
Hey, guys.
How's it going?
How can the same thing happen to the same guy twice?
He's just lucky, I guess.
I think the fact that Die Hard 2 takes place on Christmas kind of solidifies it being a Christmas movie. Because, I mean, even like Lethal Weapon 2, you can argue, well, Lethal Weapon 2, 3, or 4, none of them take place at Christmas.
Yeah.
You know. But since they insisted on Die Hard 2 taking place at Christmas, it really makes it hard to buy that argument. And then there's this, which if you want to share that real quick, FanZcene.
Yeah, I will.
Which
is coming up.
I mean, come on. That's a little hard to argue with right there.
When the marketing says it's a Christmas movie as
exactly.
well.
Exactly.
There you go.
I would, yeah, I mean, definitive right there. We're done. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Anybody else got any thoughts on this?
I mean, here's the thing: is you should almost try to find people who don't think it is, That's the problem, because I think everybody here is in agreement.
Yeah, that's why I said when we did our Halloween versus the American Werewolf in London, we all agreed.
Well, even that was a little bit more kind of back and forth-ish, but yeah, no, like I mean, to be fair, I guess to bring up a lot of the arguments maybe that people have against Die Hard being a Christmas movie, I'm not to like just outright, toss them out the window, but I mean, most of them are pretty lame. Let's be clear. Just because it's an action movie doesn't mean shit.
Right.
I've tried to hear people take, well, it could have been a New Year's party or this party. No. If you know anything about America, there's only 2 times most companies have a party, and that's generally Christmas and a summer, like, picnic.
Like a 4th of July type.
Yeah, or a 4th of July thing around summertime, and it's generally not at the building. It's usually at some water park or a park somewhere. So the plan is on Christmas night for a reason. So right there, between that and just all the other things, it makes it really hard to argue that it's not, because there's the family aspects like you guys brought up, the fact that, he's trying to get his family back. That's a typical kind of Christmas thing. Yeah, I mean, and then I've heard the argument, well, it was released at summertime. It's like, I don't mean shit.
That doesn't mean anything.
I mean, It's a Wonderful Life was released in January. What's your point?
Exactly.
Well, not only that, like Al says Merry Christmas to the convenience store clerk as he's getting food for his wife who's pregnant, if I recall correctly. And he's on his way home to finish his shift when he does a drive-by at Nakatomi Tower and then gets wrapped up into all this stuff. And yeah, there's even like Christmas dialogue thrown about from the cops, from the FBI agents to McClane inside. Like it's a very particular subject there.
And you even take the idea that there's Christmas music in the soundtrack itself, like actual songs. Mm-hmm. If you listen to the score, it has a twisted jingle bell throughout the entire darn thing. Like, if you listen to it, I mean, I just played some earlier, and it's real easy to pick out. It's like jingle, 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 but it's like twisted. It's like off key. So, like, yeah, it's kind of like an off key Christmas, kind of like Gremlins. Again, another movie released in the summertime, and even though Joe Dante never really wanted it to be seen as a Christmas movie, it's really hard to separate from Christmas, because especially Christmas time in the 80s when that came out. And that's one thing I always bring up, is because if you go into like the Cabbage Patch craze and the way 80s was with Christmas and the way consumerism became, like, it has a lot of layers to that movie. And, you get into all of it, and it's really hard to separate Christmas from the first Gremlins. Now, the second Gremlins is a different story, but...
Yeah. Brent Utini, have a good night, buddy.
Batman's another one I have a hard time arguing with as far as Batman Returns. Mm-hmm. And that's mainly because the whole movie takes place at Christmas. It has a lot of Christmas themes in it.
Yeah, it's Batman and Robin. If you try to say that's a Christmas movie, that doesn't work. It's
now, you guys brought up Funny Farm. Now, the thing is if you have like a bit take place at Christmas, I have a really hard time with that being considered a Christmas movie unless it's a huge part of the movie. And you might have a little bit of an argument on Funny Farm, but I'm going to go on the side of not a Christmas movie when it comes to Funny Farm. But that's just me.
Here we go. Here's some debate, because we decided that it could have been very well a Christmas movie, and Tom's against it. So what do you guys think about that?
Little bit, yeah. I don't feel like it has enough Christmas elements.
No,
but then again,
that's fair. Because I haven't seen it more recently enough to really properly have a cogent argument to either support or counter that. Because, I mean, from a little bit of memory and what you just said, FanZcene, it seemed like the Christmas plot is what allows them to change their mind.
Yes.
So, I mean, that sounds like a pretty significant story beat, but that's not the real reason why they bought the house out there in the first place. It was about Chevy Chase having a peace and quiet to write a novel.
Yes.
So that's where you got your 2 points of contention. So you got the novel is actually the impetus for why they went there, and the holiday is for why ends up being the reason why they stay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a trickier one to figure out.
I think they just chose the holiday to do, like you said, FanZcene, to get the whole Norman Rockwell kind of feeling into it.
Get the Norman Rockwell film.
I mean, and that was kind of what Chevy Chase had pictured. They were getting. You are right about that, but it's kind of.
Here's one for you.
I mean, it ends on that scene, right? Or ends with that with that imagery of the Christmas lights and the
Hmm.
celebration of
Does
life.
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, that's how it all culminates. Is
It's
you
been
know
a
they
while
just,
since I've watched it too. Yeah.
and then they throw snowballs at him, and then it goes into the baseball season where he says he's decided
Oh,
that
that's right. Yeah.
his wife's going to be the writer, and he's going to be the sports guy for the small local baseball team or something.
Yeah. Oh. Other ones you brought up though. Let me think here. You brought up Hook. Yeah, I had a hard time
Yeah.
arguing with that one.
Princess
Doesn't
Bride.
like Predator 2 take place at Christmas?
Does
think
it?
so.
I haven't seen Predator 2 in ages.
I think it does, but again, that's another one I wouldn't necessarily consider a Christmas movie.
That's Murtaugh before he got partnered with Riggs, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, actually, they made Lethal Weapon before that, didn't they?
I think
Yeah.
they did, yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, it's always
you know-
fun to take. That's a prequel. That's
Actually,
why
Lethal Weapon 1 and 2, I think, before
Yeah,
that.
I always find
that'd be funny. Is like Murtaugh's like, I'm just so happy to be retiring, and he finds out he can't.
always find it funny that Predator 2 was made in 92 and it takes place in 96.
No, I mean the same thing with Terminator 2 takes place in 97, I think.
Yeah, yeah. But here's one. What about Grumpy Old Men? What would you say about that one? Thanksgiving or Christmas?
Both of them really do kind of
Yeah.
go over the Christmas season, and the second one I know for a fact has, I think, at least one or two Christmas songs on the soundtrack.
But it also definitely takes. I know the second one definitely takes place in Christmas because one of Walter Matthau's jokes is that he videotapes Jack Lemmon posing for that clay model, and it's like during Christmas time. Like his wife's wearing like I think a Christmas sweater and all that.
That's kind of the whole point, is that the cold season is when they do the ice fishing, so that's yeah. Always December to January or whatever.
If there's a sweater, then I would say yes. But there has to be some sort of imagery attached to it. It can't just be winter and snow.
That's true. I mean, I don't really remember Christmas being a huge bit in it. I'm trying to remember. I think one of them has the Christmas, like a little Christmas get together in it, but I can't remember which. It's the second one.
I think it's the first one. I think the second one takes place more in the summertime.
It does, yeah. That's what I was going to say too.
The first one I think is more.
Or maybe it's the first one that has some Christmas music on the soundtrack. One of them does.
I think it's the first one because that's where it's like.
Yeah, you're right. I think the second one takes place mostly at summertime. Yeah.
Yeah. But there's like tons you could debate here. What about the Star Wars Holiday Special?
The Star Wars Holiday Special.
Well, that's Life Day. That's a completely different time of year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Been reintroduced as canon in Star Wars.
Yes, it has been now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thanks to the Mandalorian. At least I don't know about the second season, but I know in the first season.
Yeah, in the second season they've done a few things.
I haven't watched any of the second season yet. So.
It's not been too bad. It's been all right.
Better.
Yeah, it's been all right. Yeah.
I've heard good things.
That's about all you can say about it. It's all right.
There's only 3 episodes left, so I mean, if you want to do that 1 month of Disney Plus, you're pretty much this is the month.
I got it free, so.
I mean, it's worth it. So far, it's been fun. I mean, the last episode we got a lot of exposition that we've been needing, and I mean, not to get off topic, but yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. We kind of blew through them.
What was that, Jane?
No, I was just saying the first 2 episodes were kind of slow.
A little bit. I think they were basically. Well, that was the 2-parter, right? Or was that the second and third episode that was a 2-parter?
Technically, second and third was closer to a 2-parter.
I was saying second and third. Okay, whichever one it was, where they kind of pick right up where the other one leaves off. I forgot which one it was, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, the first 3 technically all do that.
Kind of, yeah. But one of them I think is actually called part 2, isn't it, or whatever the one was? I could be wrong.
No, there's no part 2s in the Mandalorian yet. I mean, at the end of the first season, the last 2 episodes are definitely right butt up against each other.
Maybe I got it messed up with Star Trek.
It's definitely a 2-parter, but they just have different title names. This series is kind of weird because there's no real time lapse between episodes. It's actually like one right after the other, after the other, after the other. So yeah, I guess we'll just have to see if there's going to be a time jump between this last week's episode and the episode that premieres in 36 hours.
Right.
Like I said, I haven't seen any of them this season, so you guys know more about it than I do at this point.
Yeah.
Well, it'll only take you 2 hours to watch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not very long.
Hey, I'm quarantined, so I got time.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Well, that's right. Yeah, you aren't feeling too hot, are you?
No, I have the coof.
The thing. Luckily, you're young and probably pretty healthy. So
Yeah.
What's sad is that if you were to say it, and the fact that you have it, YouTube would still give you like the demonetization because of it.
Yeah, probably. They probably would.
That's cruel, man. Like, have they no heart?
I did a video where they made the Full Moon made a movie called the Seabug Zombies. And I made a video about that, and it was basically demonetized forever until I finally got the request for them to review it, and now it's back to being monetized.
Yeah, I'm just putting this on just for precautionary means. I don't think it's going to happen, but you know.
No, I'm good. I'm good. It was honestly, like I was telling Jane, it was weird because I went in and because I woke up with a fever and a cough, so I went in to double check. Better be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
She checked me over. She did swab both my nostrils for the test. She checked me for strep throat. Didn't have strep throat. Checked me for the flu. I didn't have flu. I had my flu shot. Get it every year, so I'm good there. Checked my lungs. My lungs were clear. As the test was going on, she said, "This is looking to be a negative, so you might just have a seasonal virus." I'm like, "Okay, that's good." And then she puts it under the laser with the new rapid thing, and she goes, "Oh, it's positive." She literally she was surprised herself. So I was like, "Really? Anything I
can't
do?"
see why she's so surprised, considering, not to get too deep into this though, but they've said that some people have no symptoms whatsoever.
Yeah.
And still have it. So it's like, why would you even be remotely surprised? I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. So I'm quarantined for 14 days. So,
Yeah,
well, 7 to 10 if I don't have a fever for at least 3 days.
Huh.
Well, we got lots of movies to watch.
Yeah, catch up. Scrooge, yes, Scrooge is definitely a Christmas movie. There's no doubt about that one right there.
Yeah, that's a great Christmas movie.
Yeah, that's an all-time classic.
Another Richard Donner one, because he did Lethal Weapons, he did Scrooge. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to think of some too that maybe take place at Christmas. I know Tom mentioned Silent Night, Deadly Night. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of horror movie set at Christmas. I'm really not. But Gremlins and is a great one as far as I'm concerned. But Silent Night, Deadly Night, I've never been too big on those movies.
Well, you should probably watch Fat Man because Jayne Theory just did a review of that.
So did I.
Yeah, I ordered the Blu-ray.
And Fat Man is a great flick. How many of you have seen that besides me and Jane?
I ordered the Blu-ray, but I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
I have the screenplay when it was being shopped around, and I still have it, and I dug it. So I'm waiting for my copy to arrive in the mail.
I would definitely say that's a Christmas movie, straight up. For all this nonsense craziness, just is great. It's a Christmas movie. And I find it funny that Mel Gibson and Kurt Russell are now Santa Claus. Two badasses are now Santa Claus.
Oh man, I wrote a parody many years ago about Santa, which was basically Escape from New York, but it was Santa Claus, and it was the North Pole.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And now you could actually get Kurt Russell to play Santa Claus in that.
Yeah, I can totally just shoot Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell's publicist an email. You're like, hey, if he wants to play Santa Claus, and he wants to be then the Donald Pleasance role of Santa Claus, because that's what ends up happening. Santa Claus gets kidnapped, and so this guy has to go into old North Pole and save him.
I'd watch that.
Oh yeah.
Twee says, I tend to not like Christmas themed horror, but I did like Krampus. I've never seen Krampus,
Krampus was
actually.
good, but I hated the ending.
Have you seen Krampus, Tom?
Yeah, I thought it was all right. It was like
I've
kind of
never
like
seen
Gremlins in a way.
Yeah, but the ending was
And-
really horrific.
Well, doesn't it like turn out at the end like everything was just it's like not really, it didn't really happen or whatever?
No, it happened. They were trapped.
Oh, is it? I'm trying to remember. I thought it was like all like.
No,
I'm trying to.
it was terrifying.
I don't remember it being that scary, so I don't know.
I know.
And isn't Krampus like, somewhat friends with Santa Claus because Krampus punishes the kids and Santa Claus doesn't? So it's like, yeah, we're working together.
Now, I actually did watch a sort of horror comedy that Tom knows because friends with Adam Marcus, the director of Jason Goes to Hell. He made a movie called Secret Santa. Have you watched it yet, Tom?
No, I haven't got a chance to yet. I've been meaning to though.
I've watched it. It's not a bad movie. It's about this like rich family who's coming together for their annual Christmas gathering. They all hate each other. They all have secrets from each other. They're kind of like a family that maybe or are a part of. And then shit goes crazy and they start killing each other. It's like they take out all their frustrations on each other.
I remember him telling me the plot like 2
Yeah.
years ago or whatever it was when I interviewed him the first time. It was kind of like, interesting.
Yeah. It's not a bad little movie. I mean, it's not a very polished, big budget type movie, so.
Well, the reason everybody goes crazy is because one of the guests has a high grade military like truth serum type thing.
Yep.
So like what the whole like what, not really a joke, but like the whole like idea behind it is like, what if you could actually tell your family what you really felt about them over Christmas? And this is the situation where they do. And not only that, it goes to the point where it gets a little too far, like with the Bible.
It turns it up to 11.
So when they say I'm going to kill you, they really mean they're going to
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but the way that Adam described it to me, it's like,
it gets ridiculous. The one brother, oh my gosh, when he goes nuts, I can't think of his name. I don't know his name, but he's like the oldest like step brother. When he goes nuts, and he does some pretty gnarly, nasty things in that movie. Like he tells his sister's boyfriend once he starts losing his shit that he would rip off his fucking head and fuck it.
But
he does that. He does that in the fucking movie. He does it.
The other guy's
his own head? He rips off his own head?
No, the other guy's head.
Oh, okay.
He rips off his sister's boyfriend's head. He tells her, he said, if you don't shut up, I'm going to rip off your fucking head and I'm going to fuck it. And he does that. And he goes, I made your boyfriend a promise, sis, and I intend to hold it down. Deliver. It's like, it's so crazy. It gets crazy. Like I said, I really don't like Christmas themed horror movies, but that one, it's enough relatable stuff in there and ridiculousness that it's actually just one of them crazy good movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys should check that out if you want to. It's a little cheesy horror comedy. Good evening, Mega Man MG. Yeah, Jingle All the Way is definitely a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's a very consumerist Christmas movie.
Very much. Very much. I actually had a Turbo Man toy and for my nephew, and he hid it in the bottom of the oven, the drawer that pulls out of the oven, right? And so he didn't tell anybody. So when we turned on the oven, we started smelling burning plastic. And so we went in there, we pulled it out. It was just melted all over.
Oh, in like the drawer where you hold all your spare pans?
Yeah, spare pants. It just melted into the metal. He cried forever over that because he actually really loved that toy.
Yeah, some kids. Why do you put stuff there?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess he just was a kid. Any other movies you guys can think of?
Well, yeah, that's I kind of was trying to think of movies that people don't necessarily consider Christmas movies, but could be. Because I mean, there's always the obvious ones, but I mean,
like Seven.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? Merry Christmas. Oh, just what I wanted, a severed head.
Garbage.
No, this isn't the part of my wife I wanted to keep.
Right. Anyhow,
Yeah.
I know there's got to be quite a few.
I know
my brain's not working. Yeah.
When I was putting this together, I was trying to think myself, and like the ones I brought up are the ones I thought of, and then I completely forgot about Gremlins. So I'm glad you guys brought that up. Somebody mentioned Ben-Hur earlier. I wouldn't say that's a Christmas movie.
Long Kiss Goodnight. That's another one that has a lot of Christmas elements in it, but I don't know if you could really consider it a Christmas movie.
Another one might be Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide Shut. It's been a while since I've seen that one.
That's definitely in winter, but I don't know.
See, so many debatable ones that you can see the Christmas in the background.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's key to me. You have to be Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, that's another. Well, yeah, another Shane Black one, like you're saying.
Black, of course, yeah.
Iron Man 3.
Yeah, Iron Man 3. Yeah.
Holy Christmas movie.
Oh, I got a list here, and Eyes Wide Shut's on it. Gremlins. This is movies that are.
See, Jane, you weren't wrong.
That are not necessarily considered Christmas movies, but take place at Christmas time. Trading Places, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Rocky 4, Iron Man 3, Die Hard, Edward Scissorhands, Batman Returns, Just Friends, L.A. Confidential, Lethal Weapon, Go. That's right, Go takes place over Christmas. I forgot about that. Fanny and Alexander, never seen that. You've Got Mail, The Thin Man, The Apartment, which is like a 1960s film, Lion in the Winter, Home Alone, and I don't know why Home Alone and Home Alone 2 are on this list, but okay.
Totally Christmas films. See, what we need to do is we need to find like a movie that has Christmas in the title but has nothing to do with Christmas.
That you're very, very rare. You're gonna have a hard time finding that.
Yeah.
That would be funny. I'm sure there's movies out there like that.
Definitely Black Christmas is a Christmas film. It's a Christmas horror film. It's started the whole genre.
I mean, I'm getting like your whole idea for this. It was to do like movies that aren't necessarily considered Christmas movies, but could be like Die Hard and so on and so forth. Yeah. Even though Die Hard, I think, is kind of transcended into Christmas movie territory. So
yeah, maybe it wasn't intended to be a Christmas movie, but it definitely has become one, and I would feel that it is one.
Yeah, same thing with Gremlins.
Yeah.
But yeah, like other ones, like a lot of the ones you guys are bringing up in the chat, most people already consider Christmas movies, like Ernest.
Yeah, like Ernest Saves Christmas.
Bad Santa. I mean,
yeah.
Jingle All the Way was one that was brought up earlier. Yeah, obviously that's a Christmas movie,
Tomorrow Never Dies. Well, I mean, one of the characters is named Christmas.
That's true. Does it happen on Christmas or in Christmas?
Well, I know Christmas comes more than once a year in that. James Bond.
Wizard of Oz?
I would say that's a Christmas movie.
Is nothing in that movie takes place during Christmas, but I remember when it was on every year at Christmas is when they showed it.
Was it?
Yeah.
For many years, I don't know if it was NBC, CBS, or whatever had it, and they would show it every Christmas night.
That explains why they make a big deal about Wizard of Oz in A Christmas Story.
I think so. Maybe that was the thing, is it started way back when, and they had it up through the 80s or something. Because, up until like TNT or whatever, Turner bought it or whatever, when it was on TNT all the time and stuff. That's when I remember, like, every year it would be on at Christmas time. Like I said, I can't remember which network, but yeah,
Hmm.
pretty
Make
sure
it
Christmas.
movie.
Because I remember I'd always bitch about hurrying to get home on Christmas night if we were ever anywhere to be at home in time for Wizard of Oz.
Right. So there you go. Maybe that's why some people consider it, like Sander Hammerslag there, considered it to be a Christmas movie.
And then over the years, we started watching Rocky 1 on Christmas because I got it for my dad one year for Christmas, and it has like Christmas and New Year's stuff in it. Well, Thanksgiving through New Year's.
Yeah. And then the fight in Rocky 4 takes place on Christmas
Yep.
Day. So there's that.
So there's a little bit of
it takes place during Christmas too, doesn't it?
I think there's a bit of it that does.
Yeah.
So there's always a little bit of a Christmas. Well, that's the thing with the Rocky movies is I think almost everyone, even the second one, I think has a bit of Christmas in it too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because it takes so long.
Yeah, like every one of the movies when you get
But training all year for one fight. I mean, that's what they got to do.
kind of what it is. Yeah.
Dweez here says most of the Harry Potter movies have Christmas elements in them. That's true, but I don't know if I would consider them Christmas
I've heard
movies.
people talk about them in that way, but I've never seen them, so I can't speak to it. What about you, Jane?
I don't see it doesn't really tie into Christmas. I mean, I
But
remember
for some
him
reason,
getting a gift.
do like the first
Not
2 or
doing it.
3 movies come out during the Christmas year or time of year or something like that? Then they moved into summer, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong.
I mean, it was definitely a Christmas season for one of them. I remember distinctly him being disappointed about that, but it's more of it's not a point in the story. It's not visually represented well. And after he leaves, there's no reference to it at all that I recall. From the first
true.
movie.
There you go.
There you go. I would say I think they'd play them around the holiday season, very much like Tom was saying, Wizard of Oz movies. I think they play the Harry Potters around this time.
That could be it too.
Yeah. Random Brad Creator here says, Tales from the Crypt all through the house.
Yeah, totally a Christmas movie.
Totally. Yeah, that's when those creepy Santa Clauses again.
Mega Man, the one you're talking about, is Santa's sleigh.
Oh yeah, Santa's
Oh yeah,
Sleigh,
I
Bill
brought that up
Goldberg.
earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. I've never seen that one.
Me either.
Got a great cover art to that movie.
Yeah,
The movie's kind of.
It's pretty bad.
So I remember the cover art, and I think maybe I saw a trailer
Cover
for
art's
it,
better than the movie.
and I was like, "Nah, I'm good." I keep looking over here at my movies on my shelf here, trying to see if I can see movies over here that maybe take place on Christmas time, but
Or how about the fake Christmas movies that we never got, like Lee Majors saving Santa?
yeah.
Which is funny that you say that now because Santa's sleigh. I'm trying to remember what either movie or Christmas special or what it was that was in. That it was like it was a fake movie in a movie somewhere. I'm trying to remember because I remember the trailer like Santa's sleigh. And it was like it was a fake movie in a movie, and then I'm trying to remember what the hell.
Because like Scrooged opens with that.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Lee Majors one.
Yeah. It's kind of like that, but it's another movie or another show or something.
Where
like
Santa's
that
the bad guy. Yeah.
Oh, and Ernest Saves Christmas.
Is that the one it's in? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Yeah, they said you can swear in front of the kids. They've never heard me cuss before because it's Santa's sleigh. That's why they're doing a horror movie.
Yep, that's it. Yep.
Yeah.
There's that one, and then there's a couple other ones, I'm sure. Congo 2 Christmas in the Jungle. Oh shit.
That'd be crazy.
Did one a present?
Did one of the house movies take place during Christmas? I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't think so. I think the third one takes place over Halloween, if I'm not mistaken, but not during Christmas that I can recall. Unless the fourth one maybe had a bit in it.
Nah.
Definitely not the first two.
But you've been a real good boy this year here, Lee. That script's got that stuck in my head now, that the beginning of Scrooge.
Well, I mean, that was Dick Donner should have made that a real movie.
Yeah, I would have watched it. Robert
The
Goulet.
immortal classic, Charles Dickens, Scrooge. Don't miss it. Your life might just depend on it.
An old lady was watching that promo and she died. You can't buy press like this. That's amazing.
You can't show that. That's like Manson Family Christmas special.
I want it on the hour, every hour. That's such a great movie. Bill Murray, man. It's genius.
Him and Dick Donner got into a lot of fights trying to make that movie. Because Bill wanted to go in one direction and Dick Donner wanted to go in another. But I saw
like every Bill Murray movie,
yeah. Almost with every Bill Murray movie, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, there you go. Gremlins, their Ghostbusters 2 had a bit of Christmas, but I consider that more of a New Year's movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is definitely more of a New Year's movie because it's got a character actor. I think his name's Kevin Dunn. At the beginning of the movie, he predicts that the world will end on New Year's Day. And it was funny, I like discredit him because he's, a nut, but it's actually true. That's like a little setup joke. Like, yeah. And like Bill Murray's like, well, for your sake, I hope you're right. It ends up being the case. It's like a great joke that a lot of people, even writers I know, like completely forget. Like, it's right there. I always thought it would have been funny if they did actually make a third one taking place on Valentine's Day in the year the other lady said.
That would have been good.
It looked like a room at the Holiday Inn. It could have been a room on the spaceship made up to look like a room at the Holiday Inn. I can't be too sure about that.
So your alien had a room at the Holiday Inn, premise.
Sometimes you meet a nice alien like Starman or E.T., but most of the time it just turns out to be a big lizard.
Next week's episode, hairless cats.
Movies are so great.
But I'm a voter. Aren't you supposed to lie to me and kiss my butt?
What happened to the guy who's bends the spoons? He won't come on the show. He says you're a fraud. I am a fraud.
You're my second favorite show. Second favorite. What's your first one? Bassmasters.
Yeah, I know Bassmasters.
Yeah, I know Bassmasters. Yeah.
Let's just do a whole show where you guys quote Ghostbusters.
We'd be here all night long. I have several layers to my laundry.
Clean and dirty. There are several subtle layers. Like, I have quoted Bill Murray going the oh my god, she cleaned bit every time I've had a girlfriend that has decided to like.
I have a hamper.
Days. I have a hamper.
Neat.
It's like, do you mind if I put him down? You're short, you're chubby, and your belly button sticks out. You're a terrible burden on your poor mother.
I swear I used to be like the only one who liked that joke, but everybody's don't tell me you're sleeping with it, are you? It's always the quiet ones. Egon.
Yeah.
I didn't get that joke when I was a kid. I totally didn't get it.
Man, when you go back and watch things when you're with adult eyes, you totally like, oh.
We talk to it, we sing to it, we give it positive encouragement.
Tell me you're not sleeping with it, are you, Ray?
He's a sailor. He's in New York. We get this guy laid, we won't have any trouble.
I hope the vibrations don't knock her apart or whatever. I don't think they make Nike in her size, Ray.
Like, I think the funny part is like Egon comes in. I like to run gynecological tests on the mother. Peter.
Who wouldn't?
Did you have a slinky? We had part of a slinky. I straightened it.
Excuse me. You guys getting my
Let's see
cough
what
going.
happens if we take away the puppy.
That's the greatest one. They think they're here for marriage counseling. I've been slowly increasing the room temperature a degree every half hour. It's currently at like 68 degrees.
Now my assistant's going to go in there and ask them if they can wait another 20 minutes or whatever it is.
Another half hour. Oh, this is good. This is really just torture for the sake of science, quote unquote.
Great movie. Great movie.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely nowhere near as funny as the first, but it does have its moments that are like absolutely brilliant. Like you can tell that if they probably took another year or two to really refine it, it didn't have to. Because they did have pressure from Sony once they pitched it to get it.
They wanted it the next summer. Yeah.
It wasn't ready, but it was. You see all that potential. It's great.
Well, and Bill Murray says it wasn't the movie he signed up for.
Yeah.
He says when he got between the time they came up with the idea and got to the set, the special effects guys had kind of taken over. And I think it was more so that the studio kind of mandated they had to make it more like the show.
The cartoon, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is the same thing that happened in Ninja Turtles too. So, typical.
Yeah.
Yep. Can't have Leonardo with his sword slicing on foot soldiers.
Yeah.
More so they were worried. Well, the nunchucks was the bigger thing.
Yeah, the nunchucks.
Yeah, because when
they had to cut them out. Yeah, they had to cut them out overseas. Sorry.
Yeah. So when I walked, it's like the first thing that popped in my mind when I walked out of Ninja Turtle Part 1 was, man, I think those nunchucks and swords shouldn't have been used on those characters. Don't get me wrong, because I really like Ninja Turtles Part 2. The first two are great, but people throw fits over stupid shit all the time.
I mean, I was let down by the second one as a kid that they didn't use their weapons as much. I mean, it was kind of fun when they did other things, but about 2/3 of the way into the movie, you kind of realize something's up.
Yeah.
You're like, wait a minute here.
And
then you got like
never moved from his back.
And not only that, then you get like the Bebop and Rocksteady stand-ins, and you're like, oh, they're trying to do the TV show.
Yeah.
Which then you forget about it by Ninja Rap, and then Super Shredder, and then you get a few cool things in there, but again, the second film not nearly as good as that first film. That first film gets overlooked all the time when it comes to comic book movies. It's like, I mean, that's one of the closest.
Almost immaculate, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the shirt I got on right now. You saw that earlier script.
Yeah.
Go Ninja, go.
My damn cam don't want to work now.
Well, yeah, you're still working out your new computer setup, right?
Well, the computer's the same. It's just I got two new cam. I got a new cam plus my old cam. I think it's set up through the. That's not working. I don't know why. Oh well.
It's streaming.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a Ninja Turtle shirt from the first movie, basically.
That first movie though it really was a great movie. It was very dramatic too. So they really did a good job on it. I can still remember going to the theater and watching it. The line was like wrapped around the theater to get into it. It was crazy.
Yeah, I saw that in theaters too.
Yeah, I saw it opening night. I know you guys. What was that, Jane? Sorry.
No, I'm just saying I can't remember when I saw it actually.
Well, you got to be younger than most of us, ain't you? I know.
We're old people.
Yeah, I'm an old fogey. Yeah. I think we covered it pretty well. You didn't have anybody in here to argue with over Die Hard. That's no fun.
I know. I was going to try to get Christy.
Oh shit!
Yeah, she would totally fight you tooth and nail.
I don't know why.
But like I said, I ended up getting the thing, and I didn't really think about other people at the time, so I kind of just went with it.
That's all good.
But Jane's got to get ready to go, so we'll close this down. We've been for about an hour and 4 minutes. So, any final words before we close it all down?
Kumquat.
Interesting. I would have said
is totally a Christmas movie.
Totally a Christmas movie.
Yeah, totally.
Don't care what Christy says.
Don't care what Christy says.
Die Hard, Lethal Weapon, Gremlins, Hook, Trading Places. So all we agreed on.
Trading Places could be a New Year's or a Christmas movie. Yeah, I used to.
Yeah.
I remember watching it a lot at Christmas time though.
Yeah. Alrighty. So please, everybody, subscribe to Jayne Theory. Jayne, you want to tell them where you're at?
Yeah, you can find me here on YouTube where I post movie and television reviews and pop culture news. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram and Parler at Jayne Theory.
All right. Tom?
You can find me at Midnight Edge After Dark, and all kinds of other places hanging around doing goofy shit.
Script?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Scipt Doctor PhD and YouTube.com/Scipt Doctor and other places as well. For the next 3 hours, I'm going to be editing my Mandalorian review, so that'll be dropping hopefully tomorrow sometime. And then I have Star Trek to watch, and that's a thing.
I gotta say this before we go. Those of you who watch the new Star Trek and do reviews on it, I applaud you because I can't even bring myself to watch one episode. I just can't do it. So you guys are like, I give you big props, big time.
I have a problem with morbid morbid curiosity. How bad is it going to get? And it always gets worse. And yeah,
I just can't do it. Everything
and
I
yet
hear,
I can never argue that, hey, you have to buy my work because Star Trek sucks. It's like, no, that's not how it works in Hollywood. You got to be better than the thing that's the best right now.
I couldn't get past the first episode, so yeah.
Yeah, I can't do it. So I applaud you guys straight because every time I watch one of your videos or Doomcock's videos or the Midnight Edge videos, I'm like, I don't know how you guys do it.
Well, Andre
a lot of drugs.
Tom. Yeah, Andre threatens Tom a lot.
A lot of drugs. A lot of drugs.
But that's crazy. Please subscribe to all these people here, and hell to the chat. Thank you all for showing up. ETEP, Random Brad Creators, Sander Hammerslag, Dweez, More Kitty, Happy Dinosaur 8000, Mega Man MG. Did I miss anybody else there? The Jack of All Casuals. I think I got everybody there. All right, Ben Lunch. I don't know about that guy. That guy's weird. He's talking about Marvel Comics. All right. Thank you, guys.